questions that lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Guten Morgen, everyone, and welcome back to the Old Curiosity Shop. It's time for a thrift haul. And before we do the thrift haul, I will have a quick sip out of my Blue Willow mug. Dollhouse update. Finally, we're gonna get a nice long string of a break from this heat. So the garage is going to cool off. Okay, so Saturday I plan to work on the dollhouse and do the reconstruction of the front porch and continue some cleaning and maybe start reproducing one of the living room lamps, floor lamps. But everything that you see today is cleaned, tested, examined, photographed, listed, and it's in the eBay store right now for your excitement. This, I know I already showed you, a Fenton cranberry basket. It's lovely, and this is at a buy it now price with a rope handle, a nice applied handle. At least I'm guessing that it's a Fenton piece. It may not be. This wonderful ice bucket is now listed, and this thing is absolutely beautiful. We're looking at it again. It has a glass insert, which is permanent. This is very heavy. Okay, it's marked National Chrome on, no, not National. United Chrome over solid brass. I love the automatic lid. Look at this action. Reminds me of those old kitchen trash cans. You'd step on the little pedal and the lid would go up. Something like that. So wonderful. And there are no dents in this anywhere. I mean, this is super duper. Look at the grapes etched on the side. So classic barware. That's listed. I told you I'm really going to fly through this video. My 1924 aluminum universal percolator is ready to go. Cleaned it inside and out, ran through several cleaners through it, drank the coffee from it, and it is lovely. Heats up, percolates quickly. You have a nice old 1930s era cord on it. And let's pull that off of there for just a moment. We have a nice glass Pyrex top. Pyrex, remember, 1915, and they supplied glass percolator tops for several different companies. Certainly we know they shipped them up to New Britain or shipped them down to New Britain, Connecticut for the Landers, Frary and Clark company who made Universal. Now the patent numbers on the bottom begin in 1912 and they go as late as 1924. So it's an early model, 20s, it's a wooden handle, and it's got quite a capacity in there. Sometimes it will say on the basket and sometimes it won't, but you're gonna get at least 10 cups out of that. Look how clean that is. This is aluminum, not chrome, so it's lightweight. And it's not an automatic percolator, so remember, don't plug it in and then walk away and do your aerobics. You know, don't go do your Jane Fonda workout and then come back an hour later. This will still be percolating. Yeah. Watch to make sure it gets as dark as you like it, and then unplug it. Yeah, and these, you know, as you know, these babies heat up. That's a nice one. This one is also listed. It's the 6-cup capacity stove top Pyrex percolator, which, because it's stovetop, I mean, I didn't test it. There's no reason to test it. It's going to work. You just put it on your stove and there you go. It is in immaculate condition. No chips, no cracks, no staining, no dirt, no crud, no nothing. Granny got this and used it 3 times and decided she didn't want it anymore. And stuck it in the back of her. You know that awful corner kitchen cabinet thing down on the floor? You never know what's back there. Oh my goodness. You know. I mean, rodents could go back in there and live for generations and you wouldn't know. You can never get way back into that little corner. Anyway, that's probably where this was. I should have thought of something better than rodents to be in somebody's kitchen cabinet, but anyway, ignore that. So there's the lid. The nice thing is Now don't break it. We have all of the innards, very delicate, and these things get broken and missing. Yeah, because it's very thin glass, easy to break in the sink. Okay, the lid does lock in place. Wonderful. Okay, and that's listed as a buy it now. If anyone is interested in that, you can go check that out. We took a look at this in the car the other day, so we'll look at it again quickly. Put your tartar sauce or your cocktail sauce. Look at the fish. Now, the reason I called it a dolphin and not a koi fish is that typically when they were advertised in those days, it would be referred to as a dolphin. I know it doesn't look like a dolphin, but see, in my mind, I'm never thinking modern terms. I'm always thinking what it was called then, or what people referred to it then, meaning during the EAPG era. Sea creature, sea fish, aquatic, the dolphin, like the sandwich candlesticks, which isn't really a dolphin. Sometimes it can be a dolphin. We're getting too far into it. Let's get out of it. But it's cute. EAPG, there's one little tiny right there. Just a little. And then there's the fish on that side as well. Oyster crackers, tartar sauce, caviar, cat treats. Well, that would be good for a cat, wouldn't it? With the fish on it, that would be cute. These you haven't seen, or at least these I got in Ocean Grove. No, I was in Neptune. Speaking of fish, outside of Ocean Grove. Wonderful pair of United States glass, cream and sugar. Look at these. Now there's no mark on the sugar bowl, but we have a U superimposed, is that it? Over top of an S. Can you not but see that? Or right there? You can't see it. It's right there. You can't see it. You might see it. And this is in a Greek key. Look how classical these are. It's good, heavy glass. These probably date, oh my goodness. You got nothing to do this weekend? Go and start reading about the United States glass. The U.S. Glass Company, the conglomerate. Yeah, so 17 or 18 glass companies are all brought together in 18 something something. Yeah, 1890s. And they're in 3 or 4 different states, all these 18 or so different factories, and they fall under one management. Well, it was up and down and up and down, and finally everybody shut down except the Tiffin plant. And that continued to operate, but that was the only one. It's fascinating to go and read about that wonderful bit of American history. So anyway, probably 1910, 1915, probably Edwardian era, very classic. There are no chips or cracks. It's nice heavy glass. These I love. And of course, in crystal, you can do anything with these that you'd like. They'll go with anything, obviously. Now, I'm going to have to get up in a minute. We mentioned Pyrex, 1915. Just a few years later, McKee comes up with their oven-tempered glass. McKee, and they call it glass bake, and here it is. You'll notice right away it has a wonderful Depression era etching on it, which looks a lot like something that Anchor Hocking used, like Philby. It sort of looks a little bit like Macbeth did detailed work like this. Well, everybody did. I should not be confusing you or confusing myself. There's that old knob on the top. We have the original lid and the bottom, and you'll notice it's not yellow glass or topaz glass, but this early glass, just like Pyrex, has a yellowish tint. Just a little bit of a yellowish or an amber tint to it, you can see. And it does say glass bake on the bottom of it, which you would expect with that pebbly bottom. So it's a nice little, you can use this in your oven. Little casserole dish. There are no chips or cracks on it. And it's in super nice condition. I don't find these early McKee glass baking dishes every day or every other day. So that may be something that you like. Thank you. I didn't have a chance to look it up, but somebody told me, and I don't remember, was it somebody told me, you know who you are. And I tell you, I try, this is a good moment to just pause for a moment and say, I try to read every comment, I really do, but I could literally spend hours writing back, and it's not that I don't want to. I hope you understand. I try to give everybody a heart and acknowledge folks when I can. I'm happy that you participate. So please don't think I'm being rude by not remembering who it was who said the atom pattern. I just didn't look it up in my book and couldn't remember, but it is the atom pattern on the Jeanette cake stand. It's got 3 feet. It's pink. And there's no damage on that either. So yeah, sometimes it becomes overwhelming to try to keep up with all of the comments, and I really do try. Probably made in Japan because it's that typical basket weave, but there's no Japan on the bottom of it. Sometimes it's an ink. Usually at this point it's black ink, and it's underneath the glaze, and sometimes it just doesn't show up. But there's that Japanese basket weave Majolica range set salt and pepper shaker. These are big, and these wouldn't be for the table. This is for the kitchen use. We've got 1 cork. That cork is inside. You got to get a fondue fork and stab it and pick it out of there. That'll give you something to do during the next snowstorm. I like this a lot. What am I going to do with them? We'll put them up there. All right, let me do this. Ooh. We're almost finished, but we're not finished yet. Sorry. Pyrex pedalware, Monax. Not Pyrex. Slow down. Macbeth Evans pedalware, Monax. Mountain Flowers. Okay, we got it all in. This is actually going to do a little bit better than I thought. Hand-painted flowers, and there's a lot of it out there, not as heavily collected as the pastel rings, but desirable. And none of the petals are chipped. Not one. Very nice. Vegetable serving bowl. Here is the console bowl, which would always be for fruit or flower arrangements, that kind of thing. And 2 candles on either side. Green depression glass with uranium in it, nice gilded flowers there encrusted all around the edges. There's a little bit of gilding loss like right there, but just in that one spot. The rest of it's very solid. I love these things. And everybody had console bowls, 20s and 30s. Enormously popular. Dining room tables, buffets, that kind of thing. All right. I have 4 of these. I'm not going to wait. We're getting into mid-August, which means in 30 days it'll be mid-September and almost autumn. All right, so we have 4 little tiny amber. This is one, but I've got 4 of them. It's candle holders. And I forget who did this. Little turkeys. Put your little candles in there. That's larger than my pinky fits in there, so whatever that size candle is, larger than a birthday candle. So, 4 of those are listed. I finally listed this. I was holding back, but I'm probably never going to find the cheese compote that sits on this cracker dish. But look how elegant that is. I think I showed you before. So we have the platinum or the silver overlay on the top. And if this is looking sort of 3D to you, I know the effect isn't coming up the way I would like it to. If we turn it around on the back, it's cut on the back. This is cut on a wheel, cutting tool in the factory, to give it these facets, and then this black enamel is painted back. Well, the black enamel was put on there first, and then they cut those little facets out on the back. And with the silver overlay on the top, you get some depth to it, and it really doesn't show in the camera like I'd like it to. So this is an underplate which went to a cheese and cracker set, but it's wonderful. I mean, that's quality, and it's unusual. Made by Heisey are these cute little individual chrysolite, cream and sugars, tiny little individual ones. So if it's just you, treat yourself. Do it in style. Put that on your little breakfast tray in the morning. You'll feel like Lady Grantham, or Lady somebody, not Lady Macbeth. It's not Christmas time yet, but Japan Noel. Noel spelled backwards is Leon. 3 inches, original box. We love old boxes. And they're in there, and I won't pull them all out. They have no damage. Let's just pull out. See them tucked in there? Let's get one of them out to give you the flavor. There's the O. There's the back of it. They need to be cleaned. I haven't washed them. I should have done that. And there's the front. Japan candle holders. So you get Noel spelled out. All right, get back in there the way you're supposed to be. Hold on for a second. Down in this box is the remnants of the poor little, let's see if I can get this out of there. I'm not going to be able to get this out. Yes, I am. I am. The little box that had the candles in it, and this sat in someone's attic forever. That's what's left of the candles. They've all melted and become this blob of 1950s wax. But they're still in there just for the fun of it. It reminds me, I think in the 3rd grade, when we made little Christmas gifts for our parents, we took a piece of cardboard and we put one of our little tiny school pictures in the back of it. Yeah? You know, those little tiny wallet-sized pictures. And then we glued macaroni noodles all around the frame and spray painted the noodles gold. I guess we did that first, and then we put the picture in. Well, that got saved for years and years and years and years in the attic, until the mouse came along and ate all the noodles. And one year we pulled it out of the attic, and there was my poor little face covered in mouse poop, and all the noodles were gone. Isn't that awful? I hope they got a stomach ache, because those noodles were spray painted. Well, you know, the mouse wants to eat, so I guess he's okay. That was 40 years ago, more than that. That was way more than 40 years ago. Okay, 2 more things and we're out of here. Thank you for watching. Speaking of Aronson lighters, no, Aronson, LV, Aronson of Newark, New Jersey, the Art Metal Works. We've been talking a lot about them, and we've been looking at their things, haven't we? Remember the bookends that were electroformed? I've got 2 more bookends for you that I just bought, and they are Aronson bookends, and they're dated 1923. I did find them in my Aronson book, but I'm not going to go dig that out. These are heavy. Now these are heavy cast metal, and they have a patina, so that bronze patina is a paint, And if you look at where they get dinged over the year, you'll see the metal underneath. You see that gray? That's where you've scraped off. So don't clean, you can dust them and use a damp cloth. The tusks are cold painted white. Let me just do one at a time. Look at the beautiful scenery on the back. Now, Aronson reused this scenery on the back, and they would put different animals. So you can sometimes find a dog, sometimes an elephant, sometimes, what else appears? Dog, elephant, I can't remember, but various animals would be placed on this. But they keep the same, the mold that was used is the same for the back. So there he is. And on this one, the only damage is the tip of his trunk got either a little tiny chip, or it got dented, or the patina came off. See there? But the tusks are there. Look at all of the detail. Look at this little hiney. Well, it's not that little. And look at how they're embossed. You don't even see this part. That goes up against the book. Who goes to the trouble? Well, it's quality. And here it's signed, which here it's signed. LV, Louis, something, I forget his middle name, Aronson, 1923, right there. Made in Newark, New Jersey. Now, this is the second pair of bookends. Remember, I had some elephant bookends a month ago. And the same curious thing, the tops of them seem bent out. Does it not seem as though this was bent? Now this one has that bend as well. And I kept thinking, you can't bend this with your own hands. You can't bend it. This wasn't dropped, because dropping it wouldn't cause that kind of a bend in this metal. And I refuse to believe that heavy books sat here and over 80 years bent this metal. I mean, the books would have to be made of lead. So I'm somewhat puzzled, but I went and I looked and I found two other examples, pictures online of these identical bookends with that same curious bend in the top. And when I mentioned it the last time, I guess this video is going to be longer than I thought. When I mentioned it the last time, a couple people wrote to me and said, hey, I've got bookends, and they've got that strange bend in the top as well. So, it either occurred naturally over time or they were manufactured that way. I just don't know. But there they are, and they have that little bend in there. And the funny thing is when you put books up against them, they kind of fan out just a little bit at the top, and you don't really even see that space. Some people say it was done on purpose because it made it easy to get the books off the shelf. I just don't know. Because there are plenty of bookends that don't have that bend, but there are also plenty of them that do. So I don't know. I'm not going to call that damage. Boy, these are nice. Yeah, this video is longer than I thought. But I've only got one more thing to show you, and that means we will be under 30 minutes. Look at this. Fantastic. Okay, what is it? It's a 1920s light bulb shade. This is all original Czechoslovakian work. These are Czech beads. This stuff, sometimes people will say Bohemia, because a lot of this was made in part of the then Czechoslovakia that was referred to as Bohemia. So we get a lot of our glass bead, almost all of our glass beads, and at that era, that's where they came from. So what's missing on this, there would be a string of beads that would cover up, that would fit into this groove here, and it would cover up the string. I can fabric, I can redo that easily. There's no problem at all getting little glass beads that I can string through there. All of the beads on the top are present. I'm missing 2 strings. That's it on this. Just 2. The rest of the strings are complete. So you can see I'm missing a string right there. See the hole? Now, the only bead that I don't know that I can find are these long, this is glass, not plastic. Does anyone out there happen to have, now, I know I can search on the internet and find them, but I'm just wondering, does anyone have in their crafting kit somewhere 2 of these I can buy from you? These long black glass rods, or do they sell them in craft stores? I don't know. So I want to recreate the 2 that are missing, and then this will be complete. The 1920s light bulb cover. This would go on table lamps. Sometimes there would be 2 of these on a candelabra lamp, and but these are not easy to find from the 1920s, and that's just because it's only missing 2. It's worth restoration. All right, very carefully. That's it. Wow, 27 minutes. I thought I was going to be quick, but I talked too much. That's it. Thanks for watching. What was your favorite? Anybody got any of those extra glass beads I can buy from you? Do you have bookends, antique metal bookends that have that strange outward bend? I know some of you do because you sent me pictures. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again. Dollhouse videos coming up this weekend. Wait for the cat. And so long for now.